It's September.
Another one.
12th, 1987. My name is Major Alan Schaefer, also known as Dutch, U.S. Army veteran, Special Ops Commander, and the only survivor of the Valverde incident. These tapes are my personal testimony. Insurance. Should anything happen to me, what I found won't be lost. My team was brought in to rescue a Guatemala cabinet minister and his aide, who had been captured by guerrilla forces in Valverde. We located the downed helicopter, and the skinned bodies of those aboard hung in nearby trees, seemingly at the hands of guerrilla fighters. After assaulting their camp, it became clear that the mission was a setup. American intelligence had sent us to retrieve the captured agents who had been on
I'm waiting for it to pop up saying, Hey. Heyo.
Hi, emoji hugging face.
I've returned. Huggies! Okay, I want you to listen to this. This is like the story of this game, so.
It's September 12th, 1987. My name is Major Alan Schaefer, also known as Dutch, U.S. Army veteran, Special Ops Commander, and the only survivor of the Valverde incident. These tapes are my personal testimony. Insurance. Should anything happen to me, what I found won't be lost. My team was brought in to rescue a Guatemala cabinet minister and his aide, who had been captured by guerrilla forces in Valverde. We located the downed helicopter, and the skinned bodies of those aboard hung in nearby trees, seemingly at the hands of guerrilla fighters. After assaulting their camp, it became clear that the mission was a setup. American intelligence had sent us to retrieve the captured agents who had been on recon for future military action. But none of that matters, because while we were clearing out the guerrillas, something was hunting us. An invisible killer tracked us as we made our way to the extraction point. In 24 hours, it wiped out my entire team. Rick Hawkins, Blaine Cooper, Mac Elliott, Billy Soul, Jorge Ramirez and Al Dillon, the best soldiers I've ever known. Men I trusted with my life like animals. It was a nightmare. We walked in with guns, but it had perfect camouflage, advanced weaponry, and could see heat. It was strong and smart, a pitiless hunter. I waited, I watched, and when I understood it, when I saw how it hunted, I killed it. As it lay dying, in a final fuck you, it activated an explosive device. I barely escaped that blast. My radiation sickness and the crater of the explosion are the only evidence it ever was here. I've given my official statement to Agent Peter Keyes of the OWLF, but it's become clear I needed to investigate Valverde myself. Keyes was thorough, but he asked all the wrong questions. I mean, we have proof of alien life, but that life sees us as game. It's an alien whose first contact with humanity was to hunt us for sport. All Keyes cared about was the technology lost in the explosion. He can see the jungle for the trees. I see the threat. He sees the opportunity. Spies are all the same. I mean, we aren't people to them. We are assets. How many soldiers would he feed to those monsters just for a chance to steal from them or to learn from them? The government can't be trusted. So I will have to do this on my own. I'm cutting my treatment short and going off the grid. I will make my way back to South America to Valverde. I was told that there were stories about demons who make trophies of man. I'd like to hear those stories. April 8th, 1991. I'm not dead yet. I'll admit, I regret not curing my radiation sickness before I left. It made leaving the country difficult. I gave favors, took one too many off-the-book flights in rusted-out buckets, but I made it back to Valverde. The area was on lockdown, sealed by American intelligence for study. The complex centered on a crater from the alien self-destruction. I found the scientist slumming in the local bar. A few drinks, a couple of threads later, he was ready to talk. It wasn't much, barely anything I didn't already know. The blast emitted a form of radiation they'd never seen before. Some believed it was extraterrestrial, some didn't. Either they're not too bright, or there's nothing to find. I decided to let them keep searching in vain. It kept them busy and off my trail. I've been touring villages and small towns using the cover of an author writing about South American folklore. I don't know if any of them bought in, but they took my money and told their stories. The closer they were to the jungle, the more stories of devils in the trees. Some were bullshit, made up on the spot, but some carried consistencies that I couldn't ignore. Whatever it was, the demons who make trophies of man, the devil of the trees, or the skull taker, the stories always began on the hottest summer that they could remember. In the summer of 1987, Valverde nearly broke its all-time high in temperatures. They love the heat. It must remind them of home. Everything else confirmed the truth of the stories. Proud warriors skinned and hanged, skulls and spines ripped from their bodies. Maybe it was obvious from the beginning, but it wasn't until I heard the stories that I truly accepted the purpose of these mutilations. I mean, they're taking trophies. They travel impassable distances to hunt us, skin us, and mount us over some alien fireplace on another world. It would be disgusting if it weren't so familiar. Where do I go now? It's been on my mind all year. The takeaway from all this intel is that they've been doing this for decades, centuries maybe. They're coming back, and I need to be there when they do. June 27th, 1992. It's hard to remember that the most important part of an operation is patience. You can plan the perfect op, but you can't account for everything. If shit goes south, there's nothing to do but to adapt and finish the mission. Sometimes you just get lucky. I was in the dock, 10 clicks downriver from the Valverde border, figuring out my next move. I was ready to pack it in. I thought that I learned everything that I could, that there was nothing left for me to find. The OWLF had abandoned the detonation site a year ago, and I thought that they already shipped back to America. That's when I saw Agent Peter Keyes tie his skiff to the dock. I haven't seen Keyes since I gave my official statement to him. It was impossible, but there he was, with 3 of his buddies. All agents. The clean, tidy outfits give them away all the time. They don't want to get down in the dirt, you see. That's what they pay soldiers to do. Keyes walked up, looked right at me, and shook my hand. With the radiation sickness, I've lost a lot of weight, so I thought that he maybe would not recognize me, but then he greeted me like we were old pals. Keyes is a good spy, saying nothing, implying everything. We spent the next few hours trading war stories at the bar. If you had heard us, you would never have suspected we were trading intel on an alien manhunter. His cover was that they have been looking for a serial killer, a sadist who has been operating in the area for years, hunting people like animals and then skinning them alive. Keyes wanted to talk about the monster, so it all came out in the cover story. In many ways, they were just a few steps behind, surveying villages for information, locating witnesses. He did confirm one thing that I only considered. He told me how the killer chose his victims. They were always armed. A rifle, a pistol, a knife in the boot. He wasn't taking kids or random villages. He wanted a challenge. Whatever it was a hunter. And it killed for sport. I wish they were here for a military action, recon for an invasion. But the truth was so much worse. We are prey, animals, fit only to be hunted. Keyes and his buddies paid the tab and mine, but before he left, he winked at me and he said, "Stay out of the jungle. That's where he gets you." I tracked Keyes and his team for weeks, but they didn't learn anything new. Maybe they knew that I was there, maybe they didn't, I don't know. I've risked enough for now. I think it's time to disappear. Keep my ear to the ground. Be patient. March 3rd, 1996, Zaire. I thought I could wait. I thought that I could hold back and make my move at the right time. I couldn't. Fuck. I had to find them. I needed to hunt it or let it hunt me. I joined up with any private military company that was headed into the hot zone. I pulled every string, cashed out every favor just to follow the sweat and the death that attracted the demon. I eventually put together a team myself. Lost soldiers and haunted men, willing to fight and to die wherever I led them. They thought that I was a legend, and I let them believe that. I'm quiet and good in what I do. They needed them to see me as a legend, so that they could take them to die in a sweltering jungle. We went on more missions than I can remember. We didn't fire until we were fired at. They thought that it was my code. It wasn't. I was waiting and watching. Our last mission was an evac up in the Congo. A private munition base had gone dark. When we arrived, they'd been dead for days. Bodies strung up on floodlights around the base, all of them skinned, some missing skulls and spines. We secured the site and waited for backup to arrive. In the heat of the day, I stared into the waves of heat coming off the concrete, thinking that any minute they might come alive as the invisible killer. And then they did. I didn't wait. I unloaded every round I had. Trusting me, my team fired in the same direction. It wasn't the first time I'd done it, but this time I knew what I was looking for. It was so fast, we couldn't hit it. We panicked, and stray rounds struck the crate of RPGs. And that explosion hit other munitions that exploded. By the time the smoke cleared, the demon was dead, but so were all my men. I took samples of its blood, pieces of its anatomy, and what tech that I could salvage. And then I burned everything. Then it disappeared. I never checked in with HQ. As far as I know, I was counted among the dead. October 12, 1997, Los Angeles. I needed to come back to the States. It wasn't impossible to sneak contraband through customs, but I wasn't willing to risk what I'd found in the Congo falling into the wrong hands. Instead, Mexico aboard a cargo ship bound for the port of Altamira. From there, I made my way to Tijuana and I bunkered down. I had tangible proof of extraterrestrial life in my possession, but no idea what to do with it. I'm not a scientist. I did a soldier's duty and secured valuable intel. This was out of my pay grade. I kept an eye on the news. Los Angeles was having a record-breaking heat wave and a gang war on the streets. It was perfect. I could feel it in my bones. I'd been tracking them for so long, I could think like them. I could smell the prey. I could see the hunting ground. I had to get to LA. Crossing back into the States from Tijuana wasn't that difficult, but by the time that I'd reached the city, it was already over. Like Valverde, the OWLF only found crumbs. What I'd hoped might be an alien ship turned out to be only a launching site. I wanted it too much, and I got sloppy. I breached the OWLF's quarantine and was captured. I'd hoped to be bailed out by Agent Keys, but he died. With Keys gone, the OWLF was leaderless and disorganized. I was interrogated, but I negotiated my release by bartering the alien materials that I'd recovered from the Congo. During the negotiations, it was clear how little they knew. They needed someone who understood the threat, so I offered to work with the OWLF as a consulting advisor. They had the funding, the technology that I needed to continue my hunt. I wouldn't work for them, but I would work with them. There will be a weapon that I can use to hunt down these predators as they move to fresh ground. It's only a matter of time until they see us as a real threat. When the prey can fight back, it's no longer a hunt. It is war.
So that's all Dutch tapes. But there's another character's story.
Know how long this is going to take?
Hey, hang tight. We just got to get this thing recording.
I'm a foreign national being held unlawfully. You have no jurisdiction.
Look, okay, you were right. Legally speaking, we had no right to enter Mexican airspace, no right to confiscate exotic materials, and no right to detain you.
This is a black site.
Yes, ma'am.
United States.
It could be Canada.
Climate's wrong. And your accents.
Smart. Well, Miss Nissenbaum.
Sergeant Major.
Sergeant Major Isabel Abigail Nissenbaum. Numerous commendations, though no mention of total confirmed kills, which I'm guessing is rather high.
It is.
But then there's this last note. Current status, absent without leave. Now, why would someone with an impressive service record decide to go AWOL?
I was taken.
Taken?
Abducted.
Mm-hmm. That little buggy you landed proves as much. Sergeant Major, I believe you've had contact with an aggressive alien civilization, one whose culture is deeply saturated in the ritual hunting of other intelligent species.
Like in Guatemala.
Well, we're aware of the Valverde incident. I'm surprised you are.
Word gets around.
Word of alien manhunters wiping out special ops in the jungle gets around? Unlikely. I'm guessing you're a wet work type. Assassins tend to have unsavory friends with classified intel.
I wouldn't know.
Sergeant Isabel, look, we already have the ship. The only thing I want from you is your story. After that, we'll fly you home, first class, hot towels, and the whole shebang.
Why should I trust you?
Because we're trying to stop them. And by the look of the inventory in that ship, so were you. Alien jawbones, thermal netting, predator armor, and a bolt-action sniper rifle. Ballistics says it's been fired a lot. All right, Sergeant Major. Cards on the table. We're a task force directed by the United States government to assess and respond to a very real alien threat. One that attacked first and continues to do so with impunity.
How many have been on Earth?
That's classified.
More than one? 5? 10? 100?
Too many.
You don't know.
Well, I know you've killed one, likely more. I know you commandeered an alien spacecraft and successfully piloted it back to Earth. I'd like to know more. I'm also one of a select few on this planet who will believe you. I promise I will do everything I can to take what you tell me and use it against these monsters.
Fine. Go ahead.
Where were you when you were abducted?
I was on a mission.
And what were you doing in the moments before your abduction?
Hiding.
Care to elaborate?
No.
Okay. Describe being abducted.
During the course of the mission, I slept. When I woke up, I was falling, like in a nightmare.
You fell asleep, and then you were falling.
It was a parachute insertion, like a halo jump. By the time I realized what was happening, the chute opened on its own. I thought I'd wake up, but I didn't. It was real.
From that elevation, could you recognize anything?
No. There was only jungle.
Sergeant Major Nissenbaum, in your estimation, during the time of your abduction, do you believe you were on Earth?
No, I do not.
Sergeant Major, a terrestrial weapon was found inside the alien spacecraft. Bolt-action sniper rifle. Was this rifle assigned to you?
It was, by my request.
Was your rifle slung on your person when you fell asleep?
No, but I was holding it.
What did you do after landing?
I did a supply check of my person and began to recon the area. I was disoriented. I worked under the assumption that I was on Earth, but somewhere I'd never been. It soon became obvious that this was not the case.
And how did you arrive at that conclusion?
The combination of flora was wrong. Too many species together that shouldn't have been. Others that I couldn't identify at all.
Were you alone during this time?
At first.
There were others.
Not long after landing, I spotted an American mercenary, a Mexican cartel enforcer, and a Spetsnaz Special Forces soldier debriefing each other. I believe we were deployed to the planet at the same time. Over the course of several hours, we found 2 American serial killers, a Yakuza enforcer, and a member of a Sierra Leone RUF death squad. It didn't take long to see what we had in common.
Killing.
Yes. Yeah. Given the situation, we agreed to work together to find a way out of the jungle. After a short time, it became clear we were being pursued. Hunted.
Can you expand on that?
There were traps. Hunting animals used to flush us out. No shelters or signs of civilization. We concluded that the planet was a kind of preserve. We'd been brought there as prey.
The whole planet was a game preserve.
As far as we could tell, yeah.
Of the 8 of you, how many survived?
Myself and the American mercenary.
You get his name?
Royce.
I can explain the rest of it. So the rest of it is essentially aliens actually end up capturing them both. But the thing that happened was Royce pretty much killed one of their main. And they saw him as a champion and gave him humanoid, like human-ready predator armor. And released them both. Then, expecting him to come home to Earth with her, he said, no, I want to meet them face to face. And she never met him again. Ships.
Damn.
I part of this game. Just these tapes. Like, of all of them, I missed one of Isabel's, the last one. But I kind of looked it up what happened, because I was way too excited about it. And I did not look up the Dutch ones. Actually, I did. Now that I think about it, I do know what happens. But I'll save it for when I actually have it. I'm 4 levels next one. Hopefully, by the end of this, we'll be able to. Excuse me. Okay, this game is actually really difficult sometimes, especially when you're not playing as a friend group. So I'm probably gonna die. So what'd you think of the tapes? What'd you think of the tapes? Because the way it works is there are 2 objectives if you're playing as a soldier. Before, you want to stick close together but not too close together, or not he'll be able to
They
hit
were
you.
cool.
He'll be able to hit you all at once, and I know, right? And you can either kill the predator and run, or decode him and then you win, or you can complete your like soldier's mission, and then you have to escape without dying. Note to self: the Predator hurts like a fucking two-shot, but our guns don't really hurt him that much. And like in the tapes, Dutch and Isabel stated, they're invisible, at least most of the time. In water, it deactivates, and as well as when I actually can tell where they are, I can shoot them, because there's a very, very light around them.
It seems Stargazer has a defective captain among its ranks. We have intel on him that states he's been collecting Stargazer's research on the Predator and selling it to a third party. Word is he's trying to strike a deal with them again today, which means this is our chance to bring him in. Who knows how much information we can get out of him? Our scientists will certainly be happy. Drop! Go, go,
Load
go!
up and drop.
Getting mudded up.
Sending coordinates for the deal now. Good luck, fire team. There's the mole! Take him out!
Is he here?
Target acquired. Moving up.
Big boy spotted.
Cover me.
Looks like we have some bad intel. Just confirm that this is a double. Look for a nearby computer.
Why?
Armored unit.
There's
Keep them busy. I'll get you along.
That'll work. Give me access.
Cover me, I got this.
Jesus, why the fuck are these guys always so goddamn paranoid? So many body doubles in this road. Anyway, looking for our guy now. Stand by. Okay, I got a beat on his location. Sending coordinates over. Sending him back up.
Tossing flashbang. This way. Unknown contact. Open fire. Over there.
Trust me when I tell you to keep moving and stick together. We have a mission to complete.
Careful. Armored FC spotted.
Christ, that man takes... Shit, he's healing. Out of there. Get out of there.
Check these coordinates.
Knew you'd be back.
Check these coordinates. Check it. Ugh.
I've got it.
Eyes open. There. Need ammo ASAP. There.
I'm reaching a flat line.
Just witnessed the man get murdered. Where's the door?
Ammo here.
Ah, thank God. Bullets. Know what you didn't
Cover me,
think
changing
of?
mags.
Bullets. Where's your health insurance now? Fuck, there's his health insurance. He's close.
Over here. This way.
5 members down. Stick to the mission. I'm reading a flat line. Keep it together, Voodoo. Marking a reinforcement location on your map. Are you guys lost? Get back to the mission.
Oh God, he's being chased. Oh God.
Hello? Voodoo! Can you hear me? Voodoo!
Interesting.
Emoji thumbs up. Emoji thumbs up. Emoji thumbs up. Emoji thumbs up.
Oh God, no! She's discovered.
Emoji thumbs up. Emoji thumbs up.
No, it's best, Bo.
Emoji thumbs up. Emoji thumbs up.
Please, Bo. Please.
Emoji red hard. 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 Thanks, Doc. Good vibes. Emoji smiling face with horns. Emoji smiling face. Emoji smiling face with horns. Emoji smiling face with. Emoji smiling face with horns. 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 Emoji smiling.
What do you want from me?
Skipping the rest.
Thank God it skipped start.
Emoji red hard. Emoji smiling face with horns. 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 Emoji smiling face with horns.
What do you want from me?
Smiling face with
Oh,
horns.
for fuck.
Emoji smiling face with horns. Emoji smiling horns. Skipping the rest. Thank you, Bo.
No, 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 Bo, you shouldn't have never shown it. It was fine the way it was. What do you want from me? Mm.
1, what the fuck happened?
2.
At first, what the fuck were you doing? Screaming and crying.
Those people on stream spamming.
Second, dinner.
Okay. Excuse me. She's used to it.
It was entertaining.
my pain was entertaining. I see the way. Anyways, I'm gonna leave the stream open, but I need to go eat. If you hear me speak, it's because I'm back. I can't see.
Hi.
Hello? Would that be a person in my stream? It's Ash. Hi. Yes? I was waiting for it. I'll be right back.
Wes! We'll kick your ass!
I'm so evil. I was so evil. What, are you just gonna message me and not on stream? I locked Raymond out of the house for a bit. That's what I went. I was supposed to go up and clean their shit, like clean the. No, I was like, Raymond, I'm gonna beat your ass. And the moment I got up the basement stairs, I see him dip out the front door, and I see him, and I locked the fucking door. I opened the kitchen window. I'm like, sup, bitch. He tried to pull a trick. Okay, I'm going to the back, because I told him the back door was unlocked when it wasn't. And he's like, I'm going to the back. And I went and tried to see if he actually went. And he never fucking did. He tried to juke me. He tried to fake a lie about a key. So I was like, okay, come to the back door. And then when he got to the back door, I'm like, what's the password? And he's like, fuck. And then afterwards, I'm like, okay, tell me, I'll tell you what. If you... real thing. He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, show me the key and you can come in. He's like, shit, well, what if I told you the key was a lie? I'm like, oh well. And I close the back window, and he starts grabbing a fucking golf club out of the box in the back. So I open the door and I start fucking tackling him. I'm evil. By the way, I asked my stepdad about tomorrow if I could hang out with you, and he said yeah. And also, he's gonna be gone. So you would be basically getting off the bus, the R1 bus, at when it says Lion Station, and just waiting for me at. Bet. Ugh. Why don't I just close stream and we'll call?